Hey guys, I'm here with my friend Shawn.
Hello there.
Folklorist, writer, and a whole lot of other things.
Don't lie about me, Bart.
So we're in Paju, and we're on our way to an allegedly haunted military base. And to get near there, we need to go on a hike. And along the way, we'll stop by a few other interesting places.
Beautiful area here.
Beautiful area.
Lovely spot. Every time I come here for a hike, it rains. It fits the mood of what we're going to be exploring today. This area, the mountain here, Gyeonggi-do, or Engmubong, it kind of famously is foggy and misty.
The alleged ghost story is written by Shawn in his upcoming book, based on a real experience by a young military conscript. And this is how the story begins.
Hyunwoo was an anti-aircraft gunner stationed on a mountain called Bogwangsa. The mountain straddles the northern cities of Paju and Yangju and boasts an interesting contrast: the welcoming serenity of centuries-old Buddhist sites and the forbidden access of a military zone.
We will hike up to the location where the supernatural encounter happened. The trail starts behind a century-old majestic Buddhist temple, Bogwangsa. And the mystic weather promises something good.
Well, the main hall building looks really old.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable how many temples Korea has and how many are just so beautiful.
Yeah.
We're going over there?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, that one over there?
That's the summit, roughly.
It's gonna be spooky.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Put my finger there for scale.
A narrow and steep path will lead us to a hermitage and eventually to the forbidden military base where it all happened.
And just like that, it's clearing up.
Yeah.
There's an old built up. This one.
Yep, that would be an old one. And because we're leaving the temple and we're going up towards this old Buddhist hermitage.
What is the difference between a temple and a hermitage?
Generally, as far as I know, temples can be larger, house more monks, maybe have very specific shrines, and hermitages are smaller. Hermit, generally one person.
Yeah. Hey, ancient coin.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Just like that. This is beautiful.
And no one here.
No one. All right, we made it. We're at the hermitage, right?
Yeah.
Oh. It's so quiet here. And just like this, you can find thousands and thousands of places in the mountains in Korea, right?
Easy. You know, very few people know them. They're not mainstream. And to me, they're representative of the Korea that I really fell in love with initially, so long ago when I got here.
There's something that most non-Koreans don't know, but if you go hiking in Korea, especially in the north, many places, you gotta be careful going off the main trails because there are still mines. It was unreadable, so they make this word, only this word clear.
Yeah.
Not danger.
Right.
Just mine.
Yeah, you'll know. This area here, mines are connected to the alleged ghost encounter that I recorded that happened in these mountains. Mines is a part of the story. While exploring the mountain, Steve Marsh, Ryan Berkobile, and I ascended a damp, misty trail following the steep incline to a Buddhist hermitage called Dosolam. We strolled the hermitage grounds, admiring its few shrines, where many have allegedly experienced spiritual uplift resulting in good fortune. We were stopped from accessing a narrow trail behind the hermitage by a sign that read, "Danger, Mines."
As a folk heritage researcher, Shawn has listened to and recorded countless first-hand supernatural experiences from locals and visitors in Korea. His book, Supernatural Encounters in South Korea, features some of the most intriguing stories. I love a good ghost story, especially when it's based on true accounts. But visiting a real remote location where such things have actually happened, that takes a different kind of courage.
Do you still think it's worth it for a skeptical person to read your book?
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah?
very. I think it's entertaining. Anyway, I've written it in a very casual, active voice. If you and I were sitting down having a couple of beers and chatting, and I started talking about ghosts or experiences, that's kind of how I wrote it.
I think everyone loves a good ghost story, right?
Yeah,
It's like watching thrillers and horrors.
Right. So that's a key thing as well. We're storytelling animals. People will share their ghost stories with me. They'll often say things like, "This is what happened, but I don't believe it, but." And most of the people who say, "I don't believe it, but," are lying to me. Somewhere deep down, at least, they probably believe, I think I may have had an encounter with something supernatural. Yeah, okay, so there's the hermitage. The base is over here.
Oh yeah.
But like I said, we're not going to be able to get that close to it. Because I mean, you're not supposed to, right? But that's the creepy part of the story. Somebody was there. This was a minefield. And it was cleared in 2005, but there's always a risk that there's more mines.
That's hard to see on camera, but here it's all barbed wire.
Oh, yes. Okay. Right.
Look at this.
Yeah. Past mine zone.
No, Jinro.
Jinro.
Oh, I've never seen a big bottle like this.
Yeah, no. But this whole area here was turned into a minefield. Generally, what I've heard, I can't speak to how factual this is, but don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. The reason this whole area was turned into a minefield was after 1968, when North Korea sent the commandos down to kill Pak Chung-hee. They passed through these mountains, but the minefield has been removed. Of course, there's always a risk that the mines are still there. Oh, there you go. You can see some of the base, some section of it.
Oh, is it over there?
Yeah, see it?
Oh.
So, I mean, it's along the ridge line, but you can see a bit of it there.
Oh yeah.
The warning was accentuated by a drawing of a soldier's foot stepping on a landmine. Message received. We exited the hermitage from another trail, just a smidge nervous. Even though we heeded the warning, Hyunwoo would later tell me that while he isn't certain, he thinks army commandos often pass through that specific area, so the sign was likely left behind after mine removal. However, there were mines elsewhere in this restricted military area, and they tied into Hyunwoo's eerie experience. It was sometime in March 2005 when Hyunwoo and Kim Jul-yong, another conscript, were on guard duty at a helipad on Gyeonggi-do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I really don't mind spiders, but it's right in my face. Yeah. We haven't really even talked about the story yet, but it somehow feels already spooky.
Yeah, you're right.
So many warning signs for the mines.
Right.
And just not a single person inside. Like, we haven't heard a single other human being.
No. Yeah.
Just us.
And we haven't trespassed, so everyone knows we're not trespassing.
No, we're not doing anything illegal.
We keep climbing, following the trail from the story. We don't really have a choice. These paths aren't even shown on the map. Along the way, signs warning about mines are everywhere, and more military foxholes and defense trenches start to appear. We know we're heading toward the helipad from the story, the place where it happened, but we're not sure if we can actually reach it. Until it suddenly appears right in front of us.
There in the distance you can see the base. Green-brown camouflage. And Shawn can't open neighbor maps.
And you can't either on your phone.
Yes, I can't either. So there's no network here, there's no map we can connect to.
Zero signal, absolutely no signal.
So if something was to happen to us today, we're fucked. Is this the closest you've ever been to the base?
Yeah, that's the closest. I think this is pretty much the closest you can get to it legally on trail.
It was 2 a.m. and cold, with a dense fog rolling in over the mountain, rippling in a thick layer around their ankles. On nights like this, Hyunwoo and Chol-young happily dipped into the guard post to escape the chill. The post was tiny and offered no luxuries, but it did a good enough job warding off the winds, though the fog still found a way to seep in. The two huddled inside, peering north, boasting about their plans after completing their service. The night wore on, the fog remained thick, and the atmosphere urged the two conscripts to shift their topic to ghosts. They had heard all the stories typical of an army base, but didn't put much stock in them, except for one. It was the only story they knew that grew out of a true tragedy, and it tied directly to the helipad where they were now on duty. Some years before, a conscript posted at Gyeonggi-do endured bullying from seniors. He reported it, but nothing was done to stop it. The young man, unable to go on and with months left to his service, took his own life near the helipad. Sadly, this case is compounded by a laundry list of incidents of bullying, abuse, and harassment in the Korean military. Such incidents often result in the victims' suicides, while others result in bursts of vengeance. Just a few months after the night Hyun-woo and Cheol-yong crouched in their guard post, Private Kim Dong-min, who had suffered abuse from his superiors, tossed a grenade into a barracks and opened fire on his sleeping mates. 8 soldiers were killed before Kim was apprehended. This reality of military life underscored the helipad ghost story, and Hyun-woo and Cheol-yong couldn't help but take it a little more seriously. The story went on that, after the young conscript's death, his bereaved girlfriend frequently appeared near the base. She was spotted roaming the forest nearby, ducking in and out of the trees beyond the barbed wire fences. This was a serious concern, of course, but what confused those who saw her was how she was able to avoid the landmines that peppered the grounds. The yarn mill turned, and it spread through the base that the young woman, so grieved by her boyfriend's death, took her own life and returned to wander the place of his torment. By 3 a.m., the night had gotten colder, the fog thicker. Usually, this was the time when the duty officer would come around to check on the guards. But Hyun-woo knew from experience that on such a cold night, the officer wasn't going to leave the warmth of the base. The 2 conscripts dozed off, comforted knowing they were going to be ignored. And then it happened. Hyun-woo was pulled from sleep. An oppressive darkness was tossed over the post. The fog that had crept its way inside the post was gone. Hyun-woo tried to stand. He couldn't move. He tried to call to Cheol-yong. He couldn't speak. He was aware of his surroundings and could feel an odd wind gushing through the post. For the first time, Hyun-woo believed he was experiencing sleep paralysis. He started to panic and wondered why Cheol-yong wasn't helping. He then heard approaching footsteps from outside, followed by the creaking of the door as it was pulled open. At that moment, Hyun-woo caught a glimpse of a shadowy figure darting out of the post through the open door. And just like that, he told me, I could move. The darkness was lifted, the fog returned. Cheol-yong was there, quiet, and standing in the threshold was the duty officer. The officer scolded the conscripts for sleeping while on guard and handed down a light punishment. Hyun-woo was confused and uncertain what had just happened, but he stayed quiet. The 2 young men finished their duty in silence. The map works now.
It works here.
Yeah, it works fine.
Okay, that was jammed then.
It was jammed.
So we made it.
Yes.
The highest point. Is this Engmubong?
Yeah, Engmubong, yeah.
All right.
After reaching the summit, we slowly make our way down the mountain. It's a beautiful descent, with views over the valley, the temple, and even a military base. I can only imagine what it must be like for the conscripts standing guard here in the deep darkness of the Korean mountains. And then something supernatural happens.
The experience weighed on Hyun-woo, but he figured it was just a nightmare. Still, like we all sometimes are, he was excited to share it. Later that day, Hyun-woo met Cheol-yong in the mess hall and went on about his bizarre dream at the guard post. Cheol-yong was shocked. He stammered as he told Hyun-woo about his own bizarre dream at the guard post, about paralysis, rushing winds, and an odd entity. The 2 conscripts had the exact same experience. What both men thought were nightmares, they now believed were something else. Hyun-woo finished his military service not long after that night. He got a job and a girlfriend who he eventually married and with whom he had a son. Sometimes, even now 20 years later, Hyun-woo and Cheol-yong meet. They often talk about that night and the eerie experience they shared. Was it a ghost? If so, was it the tormented soul of the soldier who took his own life near the helipad? Or was it the heartbroken phantom of his girlfriend who wanders effortlessly through minefields? Whatever the case, Hyun-woo has never been back to Gyeonggi-do. I can still feel it, he says thoughtfully and with a head shake. it's a weird place.
As the light fades, we make it down just in time for a well-deserved body pop at a small, authentic countryside restaurant. In true Korean fashion, every good hike, especially one that comes with a good ghost story, should end with good food and a bit of beer and dongdongju. I'm a doenjang jjigae man, and I've got to say, this one might be in my top 5 of all time. Thank you for watching, and make sure to check out Shawn's book. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, he's a great storyteller, and it's a book about Korea like no other.
If you have something to share, something supernatural, you can send Shawn an email.
Yes.
I will put the email in the description.
I won't laugh. I won't ridicule. I'll take you seriously. You can send it in Korean as well.
Yeah.
That's complete. I'll reply in Korean. So yeah, I'm very happy to hear anyone's stories.
Yeah.
Like I said, I will listen. I won't ridicule. I won't laugh.